We need to talk about the narcissistic brother. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. A lot of you out there have brothers who are narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths. The narcissistic brother is usually a troubled soul. A lot of his behavior may come from his father. He may, and a lot of times boys tend to be an exact replica of their father, so they're more likely to be narcissistic, sociopathic, or psychopathic, if their father is one. And so typically what ends up happening is that they are a carbon copy of their father. A lot of these brothers are addicted to sex, pornography. They are addicted to the fast lifestyle, so they're often very flashy with money if they have it. There's also brothers on the opposite end of the spectrum who aren't doing anything. They're a lot less ambitious, and so they rely on you to support them, rely on you and everyone else in the family to support them. But by and large, a lot of them are very flashy and can be very affluent. And so they have means, or they've gotten means from somewhere, and they want everyone to know it. It's almost like this, look at me, I am a celebrity, and I want everyone to know who I am. The narcissistic brother can often be, and is often the golden child from both parents. A lot of times it can be just for the simple fact that he's a boy. And a lot of times when you have a narcissistic brother, there's no real expectations from their parent. It's just the fact that he's a boy, that he's God's gift to the universe. And there is no wrong that he could do. And so again, you have these boys that are very entitled. They're very grandiose. They think that they are larger than life. And so again, a lot of the times their behavior and the way that they work is that they always want to attract women, again, because there is an obsession with sex or pornography in a lot of these cases. And sometimes their obsession with sex and pornography can and often does lead to very risky sexual behavior, such as sleeping with ladies of the evening and so on and so forth. You may also have a brother that is he leads the heterosexual lifestyle, but also sleeps with men and transgender people. And so that could also be something. But, that your brother may also engage in substance use and be very reckless, doesn't necessarily take life seriously, or has a reputation about being a party boy. And whatever mistakes your brother makes, your parents are going to be there to cover it up or help him get out of it, again, because there's no real expectation, but they believe that their baby boy is a saint and who can do no wrong. In a lot of cases, these narcissistic brothers will get into situations where they are abusing their sisters in the family, or even the women that they choose to marry. And again, his parents will continue to cover for him and come to his defense every single time, and will often choose the sons over their daughters. I've done CPS reports before, just to give you an example, like years ago. I don't really do that too much now because, I don't really have, not really working with people that require that now. But back when I've done CPS reports, one of the most common dynamics that would occur would be brothers who were sexually abusing their sisters. So child-on-child sexual assault is very common, and trigger warning. But one of the trickiest dynamics to navigate was this, because what I often encountered was there would always be just about every single, I would say 99.9% of the time, there will always be this resistance to want to have an intervention on the son, meaning that mothers would want to shield and protect their son and not really do a whole lot to assist their daughters who are getting assaulted by their son. I've worked with many men in prison who sexually assaulted their sisters and so forth, and continue to taunt them. But that is a huge thing. So that you have, essentially, you have a lot of brothers who abuse, but you also have brothers, and some of you may not even know it, that are sexually obsessed with their sisters and or mothers, because there is a pathology behind that. When we think about pornography, one of the biggest, I don't know if it's like really a genre or style, it, whatever you want to call it, one of the most popular, or two of the most popular, is I slept with my mother, or my stepmother, or a brother sleeping with his sister. And the reason, and I definitely think that correlates with what we see in psychopathy and sociopathy, in terms of aggression against sisters and things like that, but also not having a whole lot of discipline, or having to suffer a whole lot of consequences for being an aggressor against their sister, if that makes sense. But again, these men are also, your brother may also be obsessed with money and thinks that he should have it at all times, even if he has to get money by illegal means, either through fraud, stealing, or some type of scheme. He may always have his pockets lined, but rest assured, there's consequences. So the brother is definitely a dangerous individual, may also be obsessed with weapons or living in a legal lifestyle. And again, going back to what I was talking about before, you may also have a brother, a narcissistic brother, that doesn't really have any responsibilities or does anything. They may be addicted to drugs. A lot of them may not even work, and so the expectation, or they expect that the family is going to support their lifestyle. They don't really have to pay bills or pay rent or do anything with any responsibility, because they're always going to be rescued first and foremost, and they know that. And so whenever they get into a jam, all they have to do is call mom, dad, or whatever. So they're very emotionally immature, very emotionally inadequate. They don't like to be inconvenienced in the slightest, and they have, again, they can be very quick to be physically aggressive towards anybody that that refuses them or doesn't give them what they want, because they are so entitled. You can expect to see that entitlement through all stages of life, including when the parents die. Brothers are often entitled to, they want sisters and everyone else to do all of the labor and things like that when it comes to caring for their parents, but typically, by and large, most men in general, much less brothers, I don't know that I've ever really seen that in my career, where a brother has taken care of a parent, or maybe it's been like one or two cases, but by and large, men do not typically take care of their parents. I won't say ever. What I will say is it's a lot more rare and to see men who care for their parents, but they will certainly reap the benefits of property and assets and things like that, and take off. They owe no explanation. They don't care about anything unless it's there to benefit them. Let me know if you have one of these.